Hello guys, welcome back to the channel, hope you're doing well. We are here looking at another part exchange again. Bit of background on this one, we have given £300 for this car and we took it in part exchange against a 2010 Skoda Ovtavia 1.2 TSI, which if you've seen our road trip to Wales video was our sort of forfeit car. It's actually a really nice car, but just very basic and very brown. Much like this car, really. Let's have a little look at what we've got today. And here it is, 2007 Renault Megane in a bit of a burgundy, red, brownish colour. This is one of the ones with a booty. It's got a Renault Sport sticker on the back. I can't believe that's genuinely come from the factory. Oh, it's got Extreme on the window. Again, that is a sticker. I don't know anything about this model actually. I should have researched this before I came out and filmed with it. I know it's a petrol and I got a feeling it's probably a 2-litre petrol. I will check that out in a minute. Another one of our part exchange cars that's very steamed up inside, so there's a bit of dampness going on somewhere. Alloy wheels all around, which actually don't look too bad. A good tyre on that one. Let's have a look at the back left. Again, another good tyre. It wants a good going over with a good alloy wheel cleaner, but not much more I can say bad about it other than that. So it's looking like good tyres all around. The wheels don't actually look damaged at all either, which is pretty well unknown. I'm going to get a good kind of fallout cleaner on that brake dust, but good tyres all around. Bodywork's fairly straight, but I did notice there is a lot of lacquer peel on the front here, on this front bumper. Someone in the comments can tell us why this always happens with red cars, or, you know, this is sort of a red, but reds especially, the lacquer peel is ridiculous. Can anyone tell us why that is with red cars always? I'm sure I've seen a thing before where it says something to do with the chemicals in the red paint, causing it for the lacquer to always peel off, because it's such a thing. It happens, you know, if you're going to see a car with lacquer peel, 9 times out of 10 I guarantee it's red. So it is actually Renault Megane Extreme VVT 111. It is 111 brake horsepower and it's a 1.6 petrol, not 2-litre. I have driven this and I was actually surprised. It seems quite nippy, it goes quite well, so I'm surprised it's only a 1.6. Must be because it's the VVTi 111. Quite a beast, really. Yeah, on the outside, nothing too much to report, apart from that lacquer peel on the front. Let's have a little look inside. Of course, they come with these key cards, which can be a complete nightmare. Batteries run out and they stop connecting. This one, well, we've got lights flashing. I assume top one must be lock. Nope, that seems to be unlocked. So middle one, I don't know. So another problem with these keys is all the symbols wear off and you just cannot for the life of you figure out which one's which. Right, so bottom must be lock, and it does lock. Middle one's probably boot, which will now be unlocked, no doubt. Top one, unlock. There we go. I think we've only got one key, but we'll find out in just a second. Okay, smells a little bit damp in here, not surprising considering the condensation and actual water droplets inside the screen there. We've got a very funky steering wheel cover, which I'm going to have to take off. I absolutely hate steering wheel covers. Some people must love them, we get them on quite a lot of cars, but I don't know, they're not actually that bad to use when you're driving them, but God, don't they just look naff? Just... I understand, I guess people want a thicker steering wheel, which is understandable. I don't like a thin steering wheel either, but I think I'd rather deal with it than have some just I don't know, just reminds me of having like, I don't know, like the rim of your boxer shorts or something around your steering wheel. It's just bizarre. So it does look like we have a second key. Which was it? Bottom to lock. Oh. Locked, unlocked. Let's try and start it with the spare then. There we go. Fans blowing like crazy. Let's turn that down. So we are on 99,952 miles and the oil level is correct. So it fires up well, sounds fairly well, and even better, we've got 3/4 of a tank of fuel. That, I would say, is a fairly healthy sounding engine and no signs of any dodgy smoke coming out the back, so that's a plus. Features wise, no steering wheel controls, but you get the ones on the steering column for your radio, etc. Very standard Renault stuff. We've got a 5-speed manual. It's got the push button stop start, but it's not, I mean, you can take the key out first, but I think on these models it does have to go in to start. Got the radio, but it needs a code. We might find that in a minute. We might be able to sort that out. It has got air conditioning. I can't tell you whether or not that works. Let's have a little look at what potential service history we've got. Right, let's have a quick fan through the service history. Get the V5 out of here before someone steals it online. Radio. Let's have a quick look, see if we've got the radio code in there. You'd hope it would be stamped front or back somewhere. Nothing obvious. Towing guide. We shan't be needing that. Warranty and services. Let's have a quick look in here then. It seems more to me that is telling you what your warranty provides and the services that Renault can provide. Network list, maintenance, service booklet. This is what we want to see. So, 99,000 miles, remember. Oh, it's not looking too bad at all, actually. So, we have S&G Motor Centre, which I don't know if that's Renault or not. 12,000 miles. Then we've got 26,000, 31, 39, 60, 65, 81, 87, 92, 97. So it's actually been serviced, what's that, the 7th, so about 6 months ago, less than 3,000 miles ago, so that is a bonus for sure. Lots of old MOT records. I'm interested to know, as a buyer of cars, does seeing all the old MOT records really matter to you? I mean, it's all stuff you can get online now, so it doesn't quite work the same way as it used to, where you know, it helped to keep the whole record, and if you didn't have the whole record, it looked like you were hiding something. Or is it something you just like to see? It gives you peace of mind. I would just generally be curious to know. So, looking back at the service record, usually a good place to see if you can find a radio code. And there we have it, 3214. So it should be a case of pressing the number 1 until we reach 3 on there. Oh, we've gone too far. All the way around again. So what did I say? 3. Then we go to the 2. Do that twice. 2. Next one is 1. So there we go. And on to number 4. So 3214 is the code I've just typed in. It should now just be a case of pressing 5 and we should have radio. Press it twice. No, it doesn't like that. So what am I supposed to press? 6? No. I've put the code in. Power. Nope, ask again. This isn't going very well, is it? That's irritating. If you maybe I hold 4. Eject button. No. Let's Google it quickly. Right, I can't actually seem to get anything to load at the moment, so let's have a look around the rest of the car and we will try and get that sorted before we head out on the road. So, in the glove box, we have got a set of locking wheel nuts and some non-locking wheel nuts. Don't ask me why, but always good to have spares. We seem to have adopted someone's dash camera, which I'm going to remove. It's got one of these things that sticks on the dashboard that gives you a place to put a suction mount. I hate these. I mean, oh God, they've glued it down as well. So there we go. Yeah, just a load of sticky crap on your dashboard now, but look, I think they've glued this. You get these little circles and you stick them in your dashboard, and that gives you something you can stick on, a bit like this massive piece of glass that you've already got. I mean, it could stick on there, right? But no, people like to put them on their dashboard. If you're someone who has one of these, shame on you. Shame on you. Honestly, I don't see the point. I'd be interested to hear if there is a big benefit. I'm sure in some cars there is, because it doesn't work that well on the windscreen, but in this car, it would have done. So why do you need that and then leave a load of sticky residue on your dashboard? One of the things we were told, apparently, when this came in part exchange, was that the power steering wasn't working, but seems fine to me. I'm not sure if it was temporarily not working, or it might have been that the chaps in the workshop have reset code, because it is an electronic steering rack, this, I believe. So it may have had a temporary fault or something. It wouldn't surprise me if it's something to do with a flat battery. Seeing as we haven't got a radio code and our electronics power steering had a fault, hopefully they've just cleared it, because I've driven this 10 miles and had no issues whatsoever. So fingers crossed that's all it is. One thing they didn't mention, oh, that's interesting. I was about to say the electric windows don't work, but actually it's trying. It's just working in reverse. So if I pull it up to go up, it's coming down a notch. If I push it down, so I think maybe it's coming off its runner, or it's jammed up somehow. And I wouldn't be surprised if these switches are from a European car. So this would be driver side, but it would be on the left hand side of the car. Therefore that window would be that switch. This one's not that healthy either. It comes down very slowly. Perfect. Just what you want on your first date, wouldn't it? Yeah, oh yes, a bit of fresh air for you, darling. I'll just put that back up. Oh, don't mind that. It does that. It's part of the Renault experience. Yeah, that's better, isn't it? So, steak, darling. Right, so I'm going to stick these fans on to demist, and let's have a look around the rest of the car. We have a zip tie. Someone potentially has tried to be garroted in here. It actually looks reasonably clean in here, the whole car. Oh, bonus. What on earth are they doing with all these zip ties? I wonder what they had zip tied to there. You'd like to think it was a child's tablet or something and not someone's hands. But you never know. More zip ties, some of this non-slip material, and some sugar-free sweets, aka laxative, essentially. But yeah, on the whole, it's quite tight in here. We've got keep-fit windows in the back. There's no signs of mould considering all this moisture in here, so that's good. We'll have a quick look in the boot. Okay, so our parcel shelf connections are not working the best, possibly because we have some wood screws from the 1960s in there with blue tack. Whoever rigged this system up was a master of their craft, because that is working sublimely. But at least, you know, the parcel shelf is there. Let's have a little look under the boot carpet. We've got a spare wheel. What have we got here? So I imagine, yeah, oh, that's a triangle, the jack's in there, all that stuff's in there, so that's a bonus. The boot floor's kind of collapsed a little bit. It wants another sort of support in there these days, doesn't it? Just a quick point, if you do end up in the unfortunate situation of driving one of these Meganes, I was driving it the other night and trying to figure out how I could adjust the steering wheel height, because I couldn't see half the dials, and I thought this just can't be right. And I was feeling as I was driving around for the release on the steering column, but it's not there. So let me show you. I've just found it while on the hunt for the bonnet release. Is this lever here? I'm going to try and show you in relation. So here we are. Pull that out, and then you have height and reach as well, which would be rake, right? So let's adjust that, and then you just push that back in. And then if you do want the bonnet release, it's not obvious, but it is on the passenger side, and it is in under here, under the dashboard. Can't really see that very well, can we? So here, don't think I pointed out before, but headlights could probably do with a bit of a restoration, really. It's not one of the cleanest we've seen under the bonnet, but I don't think anything's jumping out as being atrocious. It's a bit grimy there. One thing I will point out, one of my least favourite things about being in this job is trying to find the bonnet release on certain cars. You know, your hand goes under there, you're trying to find out where it is. Anyway, this one, I can tell you, latches here, and you kind of, I don't even know this is how it's meant to work, but you just pull it off. So the bonnet is hooked under here, and you just have to push it. It's pretty obvious, but when you're looking under here looking for a lever, it doesn't jump out as being obvious, so that annoyed me. Coolant looks okay. I'm not going to open it because we have had it running a little bit. Not probably got that hot, but still, let's not risk it. Let's pop the oil cap off. Looks okay. Looks reasonably fresh, as we'd expect, I suppose. Like we said, it's only been serviced a few thousand miles ago. Dipstick's down here, but I'm not going to pull it out and get filthy. We're missing a cap from the air conditioning pipe there. Not ideal, not the end of the world. Yeah, not a huge deal to report, really. Let's try and find a radio code, and then let's take it out for a spin. So here we are, guys, and a couple of things to address. First off, the radio is now working. I was inputting the code the correct way. What you then have to do is hold the number 6 until it beeps, and that's reset it. So radio's back on. That's great news. Everything's working with all the steering column controls. This window, I don't exactly know what on earth I was thinking. I was saying that it could have been, must have been thinking of my Ford Transit van, where I've got the wrong switch, and the right hand switch on here operates the left hand window and vice versa. That's not what this is doing. It's working for the right window, but it's just going back and forth. But that said, so if I now press it, pull it to go up, it's coming down, and it's decided that it will. It had decided it would open all the way. I think it's got a bit of a dodgy switch, and I think that's the main issue. It's definitely finding some resistance in the rail, so I put a bit of silicone spray in there just to help it go along. But that is working, so I think we probably need to just get a new switch so that it switches the right way around, and get in there and clean out those gutters, and that should be good. Other than that, yeah, it actually drives really well. It's just one of those cars, you can tell by the service history as well that it's been well looked after. No major complaints at all, really. Nice light steering, which is good considering thought the power steering wasn't working. A few minor little things, no real suspension noises. Clutch is good, it's not super high. I did notice the other day when I was driving this home one night that every time you turn left or right you could hear water sloshing from one side of the car to the other. I think it's fairly common on Renaults for the drains and the scuttle panel to get blocked up with leaves and all that sort of stuff, and sometimes it can lead to having like a wet passenger footwell, but we haven't got that in this one, and there's not making any sloshing noises now, so I can only assume it's either dried itself out while we've not had rain for well, let's not exaggerate, 12 hours maybe. But no sloshing, so that's good. Yeah, this one's turned out alright, really, considering we thought it had no power steering. I don't know what it's going to sell for. I haven't looked. It has got a really long MOT. Well, about 200 and something days at this point. 210 days maybe. So, you know, 2/3 of a year's worth of MOT on it. So, you know, cleaned up, look into the windows, just check all the fluids and everything. It should be okay, it's not long been serviced. Give it a quick sort of PDI, and it's something that you can sell on as a part exchange to clear. 995 maybe, I don't know. Let me know what you think this car is worth. I mean, by that point I'll have probably figured it out and sold it, but it would be interesting. Just think off the top of your head, you know, what you think something like this is worth, and I'll come back to you in the comments and let you know what we actually sold it for. I can't think of much else to say on this one, guys. It's fairly straight, really. One of my less eventful part exchanges. So I'm now just down on the farm here, going to drop it off, get it out of the way. So we're running out of space at Vari Motors, and yeah, we'll get around to sorting those bits and pieces out when we get a chance, and we'll get it up for sale. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Please do leave a comment, let me know what you think. Like the video, it really helps out, and I will see you in the next video.